video is going to be another property video. So if you saw the video that I posted last Friday, or the Friday just passed, you'll know that we recently redid our living room in our rental home. So basically what I thought I would do was write down 10 tips for anybody else who is renting that is looking to decorate on how you can go about that without breaking the rules and without spending a lot of money to do up a house that isn't yours at the end of the day. So I put them all down in 10 easy steps, and I thought I would insert some cutaway clips of where I've used this in our rental home. If you're interested in seeing the before and after and the whole process of redecorating our living room, then I'll link the video to that in the description bar below. A couple of things I want to address. One, I'm having a really bad hair day, so there will be a lot of hair touching going on, especially on this side. Secondly, I'm at a different angle because the sun is coming through the clouds today, and when I'm sat in my normal position, it's like casting a sun beam on my face, and then my ring lights all out sorts. So we're going to deal with this today and just see how we get on. But without further ado, let's jump in. So tip number one is to set ground rules. So if decorating is something that's super important to you, then this is maybe something you want to do when you first meet your landlord and view the property. If it's something that kind of comes to you once you're already moved into the property, that's still fine, but it's a good idea to converse back and forth with your landlord or your landlady and kind of set out to what extent you're allowed to decorate. Are you allowed to paint? Do they not want you to put holes in the wall? Would they prefer you stuck to neutral colours? Are you going to be asked to put the colour back to what it was beforehand when you move out? That kind of thing. It's a good idea to set some ground rules, because then you don't get your hopes up about a certain look for your home only to be told you're not allowed to do it. Also, if you involve your landlord in the process, they're much more likely to allow you to decorate the property, knowing that you're willing to compromise with their needs, requirements, whatever. So that is tip number one. Tip number two is if redecorating a room in terms of paint or in terms of adding new furniture and things like that isn't in your budget, or it's not in your ground rules allowance, then what you can do is switch up the soft furnishing. Things like cushions, throws, rugs, tableware, all of these different things can make a huge difference to your space, and it can give you a chance to throw a bit of personality in there as well. Tip number three is to choose key investment pieces. So buy furniture that will not only go in your rental home, but is also furniture that you can take with you to your new home and hopefully your bought home. And also make sure that you're buying furniture that can be used in a variety of different rooms, can be used for a variety of different colour schemes, and it can also be used in a variety of spaces, because the space you have now is not necessarily the space you're going to have in your next property, and it's not necessarily going to be the space you have in a few years' time if you move again. So it's always a good idea to invest in key statement pieces that are things you can take with you throughout the years. Number four is get creative. So photographs, trinkets, plants, all of these different things are a great way to add some personality to your space. If putting holes in the walls isn't within your ground rules, then command strips are going to be your best friend. They're essentially Velcro strips that you can get different sizes of them, so they can hold up to quite a substantial weight. They're little Velcro strips that you put on the back of things, you pop them on the wall, it Velcros on, it sticks, it stays, it's fantastic. We use them all the time because we don't like the idea of filling in holes when we leave. And then when you're done with them, all you have to do is take your frames or your photos or whatever it is you've put up with them off the wall, and you pull the tab at the bottom and it takes it off without taking off the paint, so it doesn't mark the paintwork. It doesn't leave any holes and it doesn't leave any marks behind either. Super clean, easy way to add stuff. If command strips aren't something you're willing to use, then be creative with the way you display these items, leaning mirrors or photo frames against a wall, putting plants on windowsills or on coffee tables, that kind of thing is another fantastic way to display these items. Number five is lighting is everything. So whether it's candles, fairy lights, floor lamps, LED strip lights, big ceiling lights, whatever it is you choose, your lighting can make a huge difference to the mood that a room radiates. So really think about what you want. Do you want soft, subtle lighting? Do you want to have quite bright, harsh lighting if you have quite a dark home? Or do you want to be able to have the option of both. This is something that's so easily interchangeable in different homes, and it can really, really make a huge difference to the mood of the space that you're in. Number 6 is rethink your layout. So generally when you move into a rental property, your rooms, if furnished, will already be laid out in a specific way. Usually this is done for convenience and with the minimal amount needed to fill the room. So just because the furniture has been laid out in a specific way, it doesn't mean that it's been laid out with the best use of the space in mind. So have a shimmy around with your furniture, move things around, or remove all of the furniture from the room and look at the empty space you have, and then try and figure out where you personally would like your furniture to go. It sounds like a big task, but honestly, we learned this from the living room that we've just done up. It makes a huge difference. So originally our living room was laid out with everything like against the walls, and it felt very large and very spacious, but it didn't feel very cozy, and it didn't feel like somewhere that we wanted to spend time. So we've kind of closed off the space. I have a hair. We kind of closed off a bit of that space, but somehow we've managed to make it feel more spacious because we're using the space well. So all of the space that is available to us now is usable space, which is so much better when you have a guitarist who has his hobby, you have a YouTuber who has their hobby, and you also have a 1-year-old who doesn't want to contain their hobbies anywhere. So seriously rethink the layout of a room if you can't, if you're unable to do anything else to renovate a room, seriously rethink the layout because it really does change the entire vibe of a room. Tip number 7, rental properties tend to lack storage space. So to help with the solution, I suggest investing in furniture that can both help with the storage problem and also be a statement in the room. So things like wardrobe organisers, ottomans, decorative storage baskets, anything like this. Underbed storage is another good one. Any of these things are fantastic choices for adding storage to small spaces, to create spaces that aren't there. And usually, most of the time, they're things that you can take with you. Either that or they can be a statement piece. For example, in our living room, we have an ottoman. We use that as a statement underneath. We have like a wall display, a music wall display, so we have like tickets and stuff, and then we have Spuggy's Gretsch guitar, and then underneath we have an ottoman. So the ottoman is fantastic, it makes a statement, it pulls the room together, but if you open it up, it has all of the colourful, noisy, plastic toys that Nicholas likes to play with, and it gives us a good chance to store all of his stuff away in the evening so that the room can return to being like an adult space, but yet through the day he has access to everything that he needs. So ottomans and stuff like that are fantastic for this kind of thing. Tip number 8 is invest in luxury bedding. So when we moved in here, we bought a feather down mattress topper, we bought expensive Egyptian cotton 1,000 thread count sheets, we bought new pillows, we bought new duvet, we bought new duvet covers. So we did splash out on the bedding. What I will say is yes, it's expensive, and yes, you will grit your teeth when paying for it, but it does actually radiate a feeling of luxury to our bedroom. So obviously not right now because it's a bit of a mess, but generally speaking, when you walk into our room now, when like the bed is made and everything else is tidied away, the room looks more luxurious purely because the bedding itself looks luxury and is luxury. So that would be a huge tip from me. The other thing I would say is investing in quality things like your bedding is so much better, it lasts so much longer. Generally you're able to clean them, they're more comfortable. If you flip them over, there's actually a difference. I don't know about you guys, but when I buy cheap pillows, they flatten so quickly. When you get just like a general mattress topper, it doesn't feel any different. This is padded. The pillows are still fluffy and puffy after several months of constant use because I am currently pregnant and spend a lot of time sleeping. It sounds really stupid, but it's really simple. It's just to invest in the bedding. And the bedding is something you're going to take with you anyway, so you may as well invest in pieces that are going to last. Number 9 is repurpose or share furniture. So you can always upcycle affordable or cheaper items that you can buy with a lick of paint or with some patterned contact paper, anything like that. I actually did that with our coffee table in the living room. I bought it for £8 and then I popped some contact paper on the top and I put some gold spray paint on the legs, and now it looks like a piece that I will use again and again and again. Before that I probably wouldn't have used it for anything. The other thing is a lot of our families and friends have furniture that they're either storing in their attics, in their basements, or they have in actual storage somewhere that they don't want to use right now but they don't actually want to throw away. So my advice would be adopt it. Adopt the furniture for now, even if it's a temporary piece that you'll only use in your rental property. It's a fantastic way to make sure that you're furnishing and refurbishing the home that you are renting to feel like yours, but you have no commitment. You can always hand these items back to people if you decide you don't need them for your next home, or if you decide you want to change things up again. It's just a really great idea. We've done that with a couple of things. We have a fireplace in our living room now which we didn't have before, which actually belonged to Spuggy's parents, and they aren't using it right now, but they don't want to throw it away because it's a really nice piece. So we've adopted it for now and we are using it for now, and then probably when we move we'll give it back to them. And we've done it with coffee tables and stuff like that in the past as well, so it's a really good idea to share and upcycle furniture. And my last tip for decorating your rental home is to shop around. It's so easy to scroll through Pinterest and find the links to all the expensive shops and just buy it there and then because you've seen it, you like it, you want it. Here's the problem. Amazon, Next Home, HomeSense, TK Maxx, all of these places usually do fantastic dupes for like designer, like home furniture. And soft furnishings as well actually. So shop around, find what it is that you like, make a mood board on Pinterest, and then try and find all of the items, the key items that are important to you in the style that you like, and try and find a more affordable version, because a lot of people don't do this because they don't think they'll get something that's any more cheaper. No. That's any more affordable, but you can do it, and you can get quality items that are affordable as well. A lot of our stuff came from Amazon, but on my mood board, some of the items like the cushion covers were like £40 each, and the blanket that we looked at was like, was it 285 or something like that? We ended up getting it for £60. Like, you can do it. You can find budget alternatives that look just as good and are, okay, maybe not the best quality, but definitely better quality than you think you're gonna get. So that would be my last tip, and it's a really, really important one as well, because there's no point in spending all of this money on somebody else's home. Only spend a lot of money on the items that you know for a fact you will use in every other home and that will last you forever. If it's something that, like, if you're like me, I like to have like a spring look, an autumn look, a winter look, then there's no point in me spending £50 a pop on cushion covers, because they're only going to be in there 3 months and then I'm going to want to switch them out for the new season. So think smart, shop around. It's a good tip. I promise, you can find them. So those are my top 10 tips for decorating your rental home. I hope you guys find this helpful. I've rented quite a few properties since I was 16. So if you're interested in any more tips about decorating or choosing or legal stuff and all that surrounding rental properties, then let me know, because it's interesting and it's a minefield when you first moved out. If you're moving out into a rental property, it is a minefield to try and figure it all out. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to press the subscribe button below, and also click the little bell notification button so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And until next time, guys, bye!